And yesterday marked a very, very grim and deeply sobering milestone for all of us. 1,000 days since Israel launched its military campaign in Gaza, this following the Hamas-led attacks of October 7th, 2023. And those 1,000 days have essentially transformed Gaza beyond recognition. Tens of thousands have been killed. Much of the territory has been reduced to rubble, and the humanitarian crisis continues to deepen. And international pressure for a lasting ceasefire is growing, but not at a rate that I think is satisfying for any of us. And we're going to be having a conversation, a reflection on the past 1,000 days. We're going to be having a conversation around what needs to be done right now for the people of Gaza, and also just reflect on the news that came out sometime yesterday, the fact that Hamas has dissolved this Gaza governing body, and what that political shift essentially means. And we're going to be doing that by having a conversation with Gaza journalist Motasem Dalloul, who's joining us via our virtual platform. Motasem, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to News and Views. Really appreciate it. Motasem, are you there? Motasem, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Thank you so much. I want to jump right into it. Today, or at least yesterday, marked at least 1,000 days since the genocide in Gaza began. Can you give us some perspective on what that milestone means for ordinary Palestinians that are living in Gaza currently? I think we all know, the events of the past 1,000 days since October 7, 2023, and what they represented. But from a Palestinian, from a Gazan's point of view, 1,000 days later, reflecting on those days, what would you say they mean and they look like for ordinary people on the ground?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I only heard part of this question. Can you just repeat it?
Motasem, can you hear me?
Now I'm hearing you.
Yes, I wanted us to reflect on, the last 1,000 days since the genocide began in Gaza, and what does this milestone, 1,000 days later, look like and represent for ordinary Palestinians living in Gaza today?
In fact, the past 1,000 days of genocide in Gaza were very horrible, and the suffering that we endured in Gaza here was unbelievable. It was unbearable. People think that after the 10th of October 2025, Israel has stopped its attack and stopped the genocide, but the reality or the truth is the opposite. The Israeli occupation continues its genocide in Gaza, continues killing people in Gaza, killing civilians, displaced persons, attacking tents, attacking displacement camps, attacking the schools, attacking hospitals, attacking everything in Gaza. Even the Israeli occupation army moved its yellow line, which was the separation, or the line which separates between the Israeli occupation forces which are occupying Gaza and the people the displaced people of Gaza. They have been squeeze 2.4 million people into a very small plot of land, increasing their suffering, increasing their pain, and at the same time, the Israeli occupation forces continue blocking the crossings, continue blocking or closing the crossings through which are the lifeline for the Gaza residents. Now, people of Gaza have no homes, have no hospitals, have no schools, have nothing, have no infrastructure at all. We even don't have communications. We don't have internet. When I want to speak to you, like what I'm doing in this interview, I need to do I need a miracle in order to connect to
mm,
you. We have nothing here for living in Gaza, and the Israelis, on top of this, the Israeli occupation forces continue killing people since since the 10th of October, when 2025, when the ceasefire took effect on the ground. Israel has killed, or the Israeli occupation forces have killed 1,050 people, most of them civilians, children and women, and wounded thousands others. They
mm,
continue destroying more homes, even below the yellow line, where there is no resistance, where there is no Palestinians at all, resistance or non-resistance. Um, uh, uh, Also, the Israelis are blocking patients and wounded people from leaving or traveling abroad for treatment after they destroyed hospitals in Gaza, and continue blocking the entry of medicine and spare parts for medical equipment. They continue at the same time blocking the travel of those of more than 20,000 wounded and patients who are in urgent need for proper treatment in hospitals abroad. Every day, there are people from these, the wounded and the patients, die because of the lack of medicine, lack of proper medical treatment in the destroyed hospitals, because the Israelis aren't allowing them to leave for a treatment abroad.
mm, mm,
We are, as Palestinians in Gaza, we are suffering in every angle of our life. Every angle of our life is considered a sign of suffering and a sign of pain and ordeal. Uh,
mm,
and the most complicated problem is that we don't have a horizon, we don't have a solution in the horizon. We don't feel that this ordeal is ending anytime soon. The world is not looking at us. The world is busy the world is busy with different issues rather than the Gaza Strip. For example, the world is now busy with the World Cup, and while the Israelis have killed yesterday 4 people, 2 children in one attack, and the director of public relations of the Egyptian Committee for Humanitarian Aid. He is an international official murdered by the Israeli occupation. No condemnation. No, none of the world leaders have mentioned his murder. And while the people are, or the world leaders and the world nations are busy with the loss of Egypt, the loss of the game
mm,
of Egypt against the Argentina.
mm, mm, mm,
This makes us feel fucked up. Sorry for this expression, because we don't feel that the world is looking at us. Even the people around the world don't slow down or tone down their their demonstrations and
mm.
marches against the Israeli genocide, thinking that the Israeli genocide has stopped.
Mm, mm. And I think that's the concerning aspect of it. The fact that the world is seemingly moving on. People are thinking there are rebuilding efforts in Gaza. Is that the case? Are people, back in their homes trying to rebuild, what was damaged through, the last 3, 4 years? Is that the case? Are people trying to pick up little pieces of their lives? And is life returning back to normal by any sense of the word?
Nothing is returning back to normal in Gaza, but everything is deteriorating. No reconstruction materials have been allowed into the Gaza Strip. No, we don't have cement, we don't have blocks, we don't have tiles, we don't have. We even don't have enough tents for the displaced persons whose homes were destroyed by the Israeli occupation forces. Even tents,
Mm,
there is a very big shortage in tents, which are urgently needed for people. A lot of people are living in the streets without tents, without shelters, without anything. There is no enough proper food. There is a plenty of junk food, but there is no enough proper food, no enough meat, no enough chicken, no enough milk, no enough something like this.
Mm,
Bread is We are suffering from a severe shortage of bread. The bread which the people see around the world is backed or supported by the World Food Program, but it is not enough for one third of the population in Gaza. Two-thirds of the population are still suffering from the lack of bread. So that imagine what's going on the ground.
mm, mm, mm. We got news. I think it was yesterday. The fact that Hamas has essentially dissolved its governing body in Gaza. What's going to be the impact of that? What's the reaction from ordinary Palestinians in Gaza to those news?
The ordinary people in Gaza are happy with this movement because think that they have or they see that Hamas is not making or is not posing any obstacles ahead of Netanyahu's claims or against Netanyahu's claims that Hamas is not is blocking the entry of the new national committee for running the Gaza Strip after after dismantling Hamas. But the people, at the same time, the people of Gaza believe that this will not do anything new because will not make any change because they know that Netanyahu and the Israelis are lying. People in Gaza see that Hamas is giving everything, is not sticking to power, is not sticking to running the Gaza Strip. Another point is that, in fact, there is no government institutions remain to have Hamas run them.
Mm,
There are no hospitals, no schools, no universities, no water, sewage, and communication networks. There is nothing here for Hamas to run or to control. People are happy, yes, with this movement, but they know that Israel will not do anything positive for them because they believe that Israel is lying, and this is the Israeli policy since 80 years, since the start of the Zionist occupation of Palestine.
Gaza-based journalist Motasem Dalloul, Jazakallah so much for joining us. I really appreciate you giving us your time and speaking to us under very, very difficult circumstances. And I hope we chat again soon. And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of News and Views. Thank you so much for staying with us for the past 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, that's how we wrap up the show on a very, very sad note. The reality on the ground in Gaza once again being put into perspective 1,000 days later, since October the 7th, and the situation on the ground is getting worse by the day. It's getting grim, and it's sad that the world's attention has shifted away from Gaza, from Palestine. I mean, people are talking about the World Cup while there are children that are dying of malnutrition, while Israel continues to bomb Gaza, or at least what remains of it. It's a sad, sad situation, and one understands the frustration that Motasem feels when he looks at the state of Gaza and the conversation that's dominating the headlines right now being football. Honestly, need to take it. That's how we wrap up the show. I'll be back with you again tomorrow for the Thursday edition of News and Views. Inayat Wadi will be on later on, 7 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights with Inayat. Otherwise, from myself, Salayelo, and the rest of the team, it's bye for now. Shop, shop.